Welcome everyone to our weekly Facebook live show, Life Buildup, where we talk about your success, fulfillment, and balance. I'm your host Zawad. I'm here with Hasan. Today we have a very exciting episode for you. We're talking about how to be stingy with your time.
Be stingy with your time.
Be stingy with your time. That's right. Earlier today, I was actually talking to a friend of mine, and I was talking to him about how he spends his week. He was telling me that he's extremely busy, so we went through like literally how he spent his week. And what we found is very, very interesting. More on that later, but I'm just going to share the show a little bit. If you could just tell the audience what the show is about.
Welcome guys, welcome back to our fourth episode of the Life Buildup Show. Really excited to have all of us here. As you know, if you have been following us in this show, every Monday night, 10 p.m., we like to tackle some of the difficult things that we all go through and some opportunities that we have in our careers, in our businesses, in our relationship. This is not a show where we give bluff stories. This is not a show where we tell you how amazing we are, because we're far from perfect. And this is not a show where we, give you some motivational stories. This is a show where we cover a real life, hard things that we all go through, and we want to make this as practical as possible. And every week we pick a topic that someone in our life probably has asked us, or someone that we know have dealt with. So these topics that we have are not just some vague, personal development topics or even business topics. These are really personal things that I and myself, as a therapist, as a coach, and Zawad as an e-commerce business person, we have come across with our friends and with our family, and we want to put it out there and share with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just give me a couple of minutes until I share it on our page.
Awesome. So you know what? As you share the videos, folks, if you're here, please share the video on your Facebook. Share the video and let others join, because I think it takes time.
Jamil, welcome. I think Jamil just joined us.
All right, very nice. So I'm not sure what we're doing with that.
Don't worry.
Right, okay.
I'm just trying to see you guys' comments. If you're here with us, please give us a thumbs up and say something on the comments so that we know that you're here with us.
Sure. So you're saying about your friend.
Yeah. So I was talking to him, and he was telling me that he's extremely busy, and I literally told him, okay, fine. If you think you're very, very busy, let's go through your week. Monday through Friday, what's your schedule? In the weekends, what are you doing? And interestingly, and he's very, very busy, by the way.
Right.
It came across like he starts his day around 7 in the morning, ends 9 o'clock at night. But even after that, we found in his week, okay, he had literally 30, 40 hours that were open.
So if you're busy, but if you really looked at your schedule, and we went hour by hour, second by second, minute by minute, you will find some spare change.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're real stingy, you will find spare change.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's true. Yeah. At one of my workshops, I remember I had this mother of 2, I think, and we're going through this time blocking. So we'll come to that in a second. We talked about accounting your time. That's our step number 1. We'll get to in just a few seconds.
I was actually in the workshop with you.
Oh yes, you were, right. So
I remember.
Yeah. So mother of 2, and I specifically asked the audience, anyone here who's a mother?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to show that, look, she's very busy. If anyone has an excuse for not working on some goals or whatever, it's her. Right?
Because she got little kids.
Right. I mean little kids are full-time work.
Yeah.
So she has 2 of them, and plus she's a pharmacist, and so I really wanted to show everyone that even then we can find some spare change.
I see.
If you're really stingy, you're gonna find spare changes under your sofa, under your bed. You're gonna find it.
Right.
So when we went through her day and we mapped it out and said, what do you do at 2? What do you do at 4? What do you do at 5? And you realize there were some spare changes. And she was able to perhaps add in 1 or 2 things that she wanted to do all along, but she was able to add into her schedule.
And I think if I remember it correctly, for those of you who are joining us, I think she was a pharmacist as well.
Pharmacy. Yeah, so she
was a pharmacist. On top of that, she had kids.
Right.
And she still found time in her week that she could use towards other things that she wants to do.
Right.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I did with my friend, and he was completely surprised, and I told him what did you think of this exercise?
Right.
And he was like, I had no idea I had this much time, so I was very happy to see that.
Right. So that's why step number 1 about being stingy with your time being really stingy. You know, people are stingy with their money, right? But that's the last thing you want to be stingy about. We'll do a whole topic on finance, and we have a lot more different things we want to talk about in as business topics and so forth. But you know, if you think for money especially, I would say you need to be generous. In all studies have shown that people who give, they receive. It just the effect of generosity, right? You have an open hand. What happens? You're able to give, but you also receive. Right. So people. I
think every successful person that there is, you know, that talks about this. You know, with your money, don't be stingy, but they're extremely stingy with their time. Like, you know, if you want to set up an appointment with them, you know, let's say somebody who's extremely successful, you know, they're doing very, very good in business, and you want to set up a appointment with them, you gotta go through like their secretary to make like a schedule, like an appointment, like 2 months ahead of time. You know. So
so it's very weird. People are stingy with their money, but not their time. But the time is the most valuable resource that you have. Why do people get so stingy with their money? Because it's a very valuable resource, right? People, I work hard for my money, right? So, but we
don't recognize the resource that we actually have. By the way, guys, I'm just gonna be looking at your comments while I listen to Hasan here. If you guys want to, like, you know, share your thoughts and interact with us, feel free to, like, you know, leave us questions, thoughts, comments.
Don't we get to see comments here somewhere?
I'm trying to figure it out. Facebook is playing tricks on me.
Let me see here. Okay, so I guess. All right. Anyways, we'll figure this out. So we're new to this stuff, obviously, as you can see. You know, so being stingy with your time. I'll tell you some cool stuff. This is fascinating. Where your time goes. You know, I had a patient at my clinic, and this kid, teenager, right? And we did this accounting, time accounting. So where I told him, okay, tell me exactly what you do, you know, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. And we did accounting, just like, you know, how if you want to know where you look at that.
There we go.
We're getting feedback now. All right, so
go ahead.
All right, so you know, if you were to look at where your every penny went, right, and you really know that maybe you spent, you know, $5 here, $5 there, $10 here, you start to add up all the bills. It starts actually add up. You do an accounting, you see at the end of the year it adds up. Same way, I'm telling you, do an accounting for your day. Where actually, if you think you're a really busy person and you have no time, I'm telling you, sit down and every day write out what did I do at 2, at 3, at 4, at 5, at 6, at 7, and rewrite down. You will find some interesting stuff. You know, I have to share this with you. I found some very cool stats.
You're gonna share this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some cool stats.
He was sharing this with me, like, you know, like an hour before.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, that's amazing.
So this is the surveys that were done about where our time goes, right? Very interesting. So studies show folks watch about 3 hours of TV a day. Now, on average, why? Maybe on weekend you're watching Netflix for 6 hours, 8 hours, right? On average, you're watching about, you know, 3 hours per day. You know, if you take that in your whole lifespan, so 3 hours a day, a day, right? So take that, 7 days. That's 21 hours in a week. Then take that in a year. Take that in 10 years. Take that in 50 years. Your whole life, you're watching about 9 years. Can you believe
9 years
this?
of TV.
9 years of your life
and
is
we
actually...
complain that we don't have time.
Right. 9 years of your life is actually spent watching TV.
Yeah.
Another 25 years is spent sleeping. So if you're sleeping about 6 hours, 7 hours, and you multiply that by the week, by the month,
sleep you need it.
Sure. I'm just trying to give a picture about where time goes.
Right.
About you spend about 25 years sleeping. About 4 years you spend eating. Now this is not even including the social time we have and eating with friends, eating with family.
Just like you eating breakfast.
Just eating, and this number of 4 years can increase or decrease depending on how social is your food eating habit, right? So 4 years you spend eating. Another 4 years you spend driving. I'm talking about years of your life. Like, think about it. You have only 65 years, 70 years. The entire chunk out of that, 4 years you spend driving. The amount on average, the amount you're gonna drive is the amount of going to the moon and coming back 3 times. That's how much you're gonna drive.
Really stats.
3 months a year. 3 months of your life.
So just to summarize this real quick.
Yeah, sure.
How much of your time is actually like free after all of this stuff?
That's a good question. That's what you got to ask yourself. Think about it. I mean, I have to share this one. This is very interesting. So, a woman spends about 1 year deciding what to wear, right? And men, also same. I don't want to give a sexist data here, but the one data that they had here was that women spend about 1 year deciding what
I
to
think
wear.
it's men and women,
Sure.
especially in the 21st century.
Yeah, of
amount
course,
of time
of course.
that we spend.
And there was another interesting survey. They said that a man spends about 1 year staring at women. So amount of time you spend just staring, right? Just the staring. It's about 1 year.
Yeah.
So if you actually take those seconds and minutes, it adds up. Be stingy. You look at your quarters and you're like, I could scrape something. You could scrape those times.
Right.
Be stingy with your time. That's really the whole point. Now, the biggest thing here, though, that I really want to share with you is about the work. That's so important. Look, we're gonna live. I shared this video on my page, I think, last night. In your life, you have from 0 to 65, let's just say, or say you live up to 75. From 0 to 13, you're just a kid, a teenager, and then from 65 up, retirement, your old age, you're going to doctor's appointment and I know all my patients that I have that are seniors, they're going doctor appointments like every few days. So literally, you have in between from age 20 to age 65. That's your working time. That's about 40 something years, that you have, and you're gonna be spending most of the time working. So you look at this, you just realize, wow, I don't have that much time.
To summarize the point, I think is going back to our topic name, be stingy with your time.
Right.
Is that all the mundane things that we do in our daily lives, they can take time away from us.
Right.
And as we discussed, time is the most valuable resource that we have.
Right.
And if we're not stingy with it, we're going to be giving it out, for free, and not getting anything back in return.
Like, I want you to think about your life like a in a video game, they have a health meter for your character.
Yeah. So
as much as you get shot, health bar goes down. You only have certain amount of minutes, hours, days of your life. Literally, you are your seconds, your minutes, your days, your hours.
That makes up who you are.
That's who you are. I mean, everyone gets that 24-hour chance.
Yeah.
Everyone that came to this earth, from president to people who won Nobel Peace Prize to if you're a bum on the street, you get 24 hours.
Everybody got the same resource.
What do you do with that resource? That's what counts.
Absolutely. Okay. So I think one of the things that you need to do in order to be stingy with your time is to actually know where your time is going. So one of the examples that you just gave right now is if you look in terms of how many years you have to live, and you take away the mundane things, just things that you mentioned as even little as not
that you're not going to do them. I mean, you're gonna spend whatever 3 years in the bathroom, whatever the case might be. That's gonna happen, no problem. But just to keep that in mind, the small time that goes away. I was just reading an article this morning. There's a new study, and I think Washington Post had published a little article about that research. That average person spends about 80. They look at the phone about 80 times a day.
80 times a day.
And each of those times, think about it, 80 times. You know how each time you pick up the phone, you're probably looking for at least a minute.
And most of us, and look, don't think that looking at your phone is a bad
thing.
Oh
no, of course not. Of course not.
It could be that. Let me just take this away real quick.
Okay.
It could be that you need to look at your phone because of your business, because your colleagues or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And it could be important reasons.
Sure.
But majority of the times, we look at our phone reactively. Anytime somebody messages us, we get Facebook notifications which are not even important to us.
Right.
They don't give us anything, and we look at our phones.
Be stingy. Look, I'm going to tell you to be really cheap. Look how cheap it is.
Yeah.
You're standing on the subway, right? Or on the and you got this few minutes before the train comes. Really, I want you to really think about this. Stop and really think about this. You might say, man, you're mad cheap, bro. I am cheap. Look, let me show you. You're waiting for the train, and you're flipping through your phone. Now that 5 minutes, 10 minutes, sometimes you're waiting for the phone, waiting for the train rather. That 10 minutes, really think about it. You're going to work, come back to work. How much is that? 20 minutes. And that 20 minutes might not seem like a lot, but take that in a week. How much is that? 20 minutes in a week. That's 7 times 20.
Yeah, that's more than an hour.
That's almost 2 hours.
Yeah, that's almost 2 hours.
2 hours in a week. In a month, how much is that? That's 8 hours.
Now imagine that was
in a year.
Imagine that's money.
Imagine
that's money that you're losing out. And as we discussed.
So it'd be like, so what do I do? That 20 minutes. People say all the time. And I tell them, okay, so do a time accounting, right? Go home, write down. Okay, 8 o'clock. You're like, okay, from 8 to 9, I'm going to work.
Do you want to just reiterate what it means by time accounting?
Sure.
I think we just had a lot of new people that joined in.
Okay, sure. So we're talking about today being stingy with your time, and our step number 1 is accounting your time. So just like you count for every penny, I'm telling you, you have to account for every second. Literally, you have to account for every minute. So what I'm telling you is this coming week, every night, take few minutes and write down, what did I do at 2? What did I do at 3? What did I do at 4? What did I do at 5? Just get a picture of where your time went. So
you guys have a bird's eye point of view, like where
Right.
your time is actually going.
Right.
If you really think that's really that busy, show me.
Right.
Like, how you're actually spending time. Don't lie to yourself and say that you're
Right.
busy.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, people are BSing themselves all the time. Oh, I'm busy. Okay, what are you doing? Oh, from 7, my life from 7 o'clock to 6 o'clock, I'm at work.
Yeah.
I said, whoa. 7 to 6, it's a long hour. Let's break it down. They're like, huh? Break it down? Yeah, let's break it down. Okay, what happens at 7? Well, 7, I get ready. What does that mean? Well, I take shower, I brush my teeth, I eat. Okay, so and what? And then they're like, oh well, how long does it take shower? Oh, the 15 minutes. Oh, how long? And then they're like, okay, then I go to the bus station. I go to the subway. I get in my car. You get in your car. Okay, what do you do? Oh, I go to work. I said, what? How long is the drive? 45 minutes, half an hour. I said, okay.
What do you do at that time?
What are you doing at that 45 minutes? They're like, 45 minutes? That's travel time. What is travel time? What is that? Nah, okay. If you tell me, look, you want to listen to the music, you want to, you enjoy just the fresh air. Okay, that's up to you. I'm not going to say anything about that. But what I will say though, that's time. That 45 minutes is actually time. You have to think about that as a time.
I think one of the things I want to talk about is consolidation.
Yeah,
that's one of the
being
things.
able to, yeah.
Yeah. So step number one. So step number one is really, guys, on a sheet of paper, like write down how you're spending your time.
Yeah.
Don't lie to yourself by saying that you're busy all the time.
Be an accountant.
Yeah.
Be an accountant for
your time.
Imagine like you're a Fortune 500 or like a non-profit accountant, and you have to answer for every penny to the IRS.
Right. Yeah. Guys, just real quick, to the guys that have joined us, Zaid, welcome. Nazikil, welcome. Muhammad Iqbal, welcome. Naz Muttasim, welcome, guys. Thank you for joining us. This is the first time that you're joining us for our show. This is a weekly live show that we have, where we talk about topics like this. Thank you for
every
joining
Monday
us.
10 o'clock.
Every Monday 10 o'clock. Yeah. Just give us a thumbs up if you're here with us, so that I know that you're here. We want you to interact with the show. I want to hear your thoughts. Any kind of question that you guys have, I'd love to read it off and ask Hasan here.
I know some of you just checking it out. You're listening to it and be like, okay, let me see what this is. Stick with it. Grab a seat. Enjoy this. We are here only for a few minutes, and we want to make sure that this is something we leave you with something good for the rest of the week.
Yeah. And Sirat Saif, okay, Naji, thank you for saying that. He's saying the advice is necessary, and please pass and share. Thank you so much. Definitely, guys, share the video with your friends. I really, really appreciate it.
So step number 1 was about accounting your time. So if there's anything you want to take away from tonight, is go home this week, commit yourself to making a balance sheet
of your time.
A balance sheet of your time. I know I sound like an accountant right now, but that's exactly what you got to do with your time, because time is the biggest resource.
It's a numbers game, really.
It's
a numbers game.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So do a time sheet where your time is going. And when I tell people, they say 7 to 6 I work. Then I say, okay, what time is it lunch? Oh, at 2 o'clock. How long is it lunch? Hour and a half sometimes. Whoa, what do you do then? I relax. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Okay, relax is good, no problem. But what do you do in that relaxation time, right? Can it be better than flipping through, Facebook and Instagram? Can it be? Because sometimes when you go to lunch and you flip through Instagram, you actually get back to work tired, because that all the flipping exhausts you. Could you have done something better? I'm asking. I'm not. Maybe no. Maybe you like it. But I'm just saying. Could you have done something better?
Or I think what we're trying to the point is that if you're really to take account of your time, you do have time that's flexible.
Right.
You could do it towards the things that you actually want to do, that you keep on saying that I don't have time for.
Right.
So yeah, definitely. And I think the second thing.
Second thing. Yeah.
Second thing we want to emphasize is your mindset.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So mindset means that if you have things you want to do, you have your goals, you have your weekly plans, and that's why on last week we talked about not getting overwhelmed with the hype. Was it last week or week
That
before?
was week before that.
Week before that.
Yeah.
And we talked about how if you knew what you have
this
to
connects to this. It's
it
basically,
does.
you know, you have to, in your mindset, okay, you have to have like, you know, visions and goals that you are set towards, you know, and those are the things that, you know, you should work towards. So, you know, if you have that, then, you know, automatically you should be stingy with your time to work towards those goals. You know, don't let the Facebook notification or the phone call distract you.
Right, you know, some you know this, when you have a big project coming up at work, you automatically do this. When you have big project coming at work, or finals week for college students that are watching the show, you know how you get stingy with your time? Just think about that, you are capable of it.
Right.
So have that mindset. Imagine you have finals week all the time. Imagine you have a big project coming up all the time. Imagine you're planning your wedding all the time. And you may be like, whoa, but there's no relaxation. No, I'm saying when you're stingy like that, you're gonna decide that I'm gonna blow and just you know, waste my Saturday. That's okay. You could do that, but you have to put that on the schedule and do it.
Right.
You know, put that on the schedule and do it. You know,
so over here, like, you know, some people said that you know, you can listen to Quran and, like, you know, learn a surah.
Right.
Okay, while you're doing this. Definitely, if that's, like, you know, your mission, that you want to, like, you know, memorize something.
Right.
You know, by all means,
right.
you know, go ahead and memorize a surah. You know, or, you know, but it has to go with your missions and vision. You know, the things that you set out for yourself. For example, let's say, you know, you have a goal of I don't know, let's say I keep going back to I keep thinking of fitness examples.
No, go back to yours. I mean, you're in e-commerce.
Yeah. So okay, I'll give you a personal example. So so for example, you know, anytime that I would go to school, you know, I would listen to like, you know, in the bus ride was like 45 minutes, you know, and I would listen to a podcast, you know, of, like, you know, starting businesses online. And I would literally, like, you know, 45 minutes going to school, 45 minutes coming back. I would have like almost 2 hours, like, you know, every single day. And I would listen to podcasts, you know, about starting a business, different strategies, different tools, Facebook marketing, you know, email marketing, all of this stuff, you know, and that helped me tremendously. And right now I'm actually like a full-time, you know, e-commerce entrepreneur. You know, and
that adds up. That adds up.
Yeah. So and I did that because that was what I wanted to get into. You know what I mean? So you don't realize that half an hour, but, you know, you're like, I'm in the subway. So what do you do in the subway? You know, you're going, and even there's a lot of people. I'm congested. No point of staring at people. No point listening to the same beat on music all the time. I mean, it's not really, you know. It's sometimes if you like it, that's cool, no problem. But, you know, other times you see small adds up. So you do half an hour each day. Like, imagine you consume e-commerce information, you know, half an hour, 40 minutes every day. By the end of the month, you are pretty
it adds up.
Yeah.
Right.
So you know, those goals that you have, okay, those small little times that you have, that's flexible.
Right.
You can actually work towards your goals at those times.
So mindset. You have to have pre-planned goals already. Like, you know, you already have audiobooks that you're finishing. You already have phone calls you got to make. You know, I actually make my schedules when I'm driving back from work. Like, people know this. Zawad knows it very well.
Yeah, anytime I want to talk to this guy, he's like, I'm going to get out of work at this time.
Yeah, call me.
You know, yeah,
because I know
the time that you're driving back.
Because,
you know,
or else I'm just going to be driving and just staring, listen to, like, you know, news or something, or, like, you know, other people listen to music, and I'm not really being as productive as I can be. So I actually schedule my phone calls when I'm driving.
Right, absolutely.
Right, you know, and you have to do that. Again, being stingy with your time. How can I get the most bang for my buck? You know, like, if you're really cheap, you know, you go and find sales. You know, you have to get the most out of your 25 cents. I'm telling you, try to get most out of your minute. You know, so mindset. You got to have pre-planned stuff already. Like, you already know that, okay, I'm going to lunch every day. Lunch. One brother, one person told me that him and his wife work a company that's like pretty close to each other. So they always have lunch together. So he actually turned his work lunch into a time with his spouse. Now, it doesn't work for everybody, but I'm just saying that you have to figure out how you can you know, have things ready.
Right.
That's what I mean, a mindset. You have to have the mindset of being real cheap. From tomorrow, I want you to be like cheap as possible when it comes to your time.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, how do I get the most? Is this the best use of my time? Am I getting the most bang for my buck? That's the question you have to ask yourself. That's the question you have.
Yeah.
And along with that, the question is, do I need to do this or not? Something comes up, something distracts you, something wants to take your time. You know, the health bar I talked about. Everyone wants your health bar. You know that in a video game you have a health bar that shows you have 50% of life left. You know, you have 25% life left. Every time someone asks you, hey bro, you know, go here. Hey, can I give you a call? Hey, can you do this project? Hey, can I do that? They're asking you, can I take one bar from your life, please? They're just taking away from you, and when you hit the zero, that's when you die, right? So you only have a certain amount of health bar left. So every time now you might want to give it to someone because you love them or you care about that ambition or goal. You love to give your health bar to your company that you work for because in return they give you some money, right? You exchange. Literally, think about it. You exchange your time with your company, and they gave you. They give you money. They gave money in return.
Yeah,
that's really think about that. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So number 2 is mindset. Very important. Like 2 questions to ask yourself all the time. Can I? Do I need to do this right now? Is this within my life goal and vision? And number 2, always having things ready to go. So that's as far as your mindset.
So let's give I think we already said one practical step would be to have the time accountability. To set that up. Another thing that you guys can do is filtering.
Okay, so that's number 3.
Yeah. Okay. What does filtering mean to you?
So number 3 is being able to filter. So you got to have a very tight bottleneck of how information flows to you, how tasks, to-do lists. We all have to-do lists. Like, how do you know things you got to do tomorrow, next week? Either your professor told you, your boss told you, your family member told you, people told you, right? It comes to you. What I'm saying is make that bottleneck very small, right? So you don't let everything come in. So people who are very productive with their time, you can't assign them things on the go. You tell them something. Say they're walking in the hallway. They say, "Hey, Mike, can you take care of this?" He will say, "Just shoot me an email, text me." So they put everything down. So let me give you in a very practical.
So you don't like react to it. Like you have like a system as far as like if somebody asks you for a favor, you don't automatically go and do it. Because you don't just react to it.
Think about this: a president of a country. Why does he have or she someday have a full department that manages their schedule?
Yeah.
Because not all the information can flow to the president, right? You have the chief of staff, you have the secretary. I mean, these people, you can't just call a president. They'll not pick up your call.
Right.
You have to go through channels. And it gets filtered by the time it gets to the president. I'm telling you, or a company, you can't just. A company will tell you have to send us email. You have to call up the customer support. You can't just call the CEO and be like, "Hey, my phone isn't working, man." You can't just say that, right? You filter. Yeah. So I'm telling you, for you too, you have to have filter. You go to a family gathering and somebody says, "Hey, can you take care of this?" And you go, "Uncle, okay, I'll do it." But then then you write it down. You put it in a paper. So make sure it's not jumbled up in your head. Make sure there's a filter system. And in a very practical sense, things like notification, for example, use it. Like making things, your WhatsApp group. You have so many WhatsApp groups. Some of them you can mute. There is something called muting. I don't understand this, right, Zawad? So some people, they get in a WhatsApp group, Facebook group, or they get into a text group, and they get all pissed off because you texting me late. People will stop giving so many messages in a WhatsApp group. People, there is something called mute.
Right.
Just mute the damn thing.
Yeah.
Just mute it. Literally.
This happened to me. I would call somebody. Okay, maybe it's late at night.
Right.
And he would pick up and get mad at me. I'm like, come on, man. Okay.
Why are you picking up?
Why are you picking up?
You should have hours where your phone is off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put it airplane mode. You're not gonna get life and death information on Facebook notification, most likely. And
I think, as Hasan says, if it's an emergency, they'll call 911.
Right, stingy. You're real stingy. Yeah.
Don't worry. So yeah, absolutely.
By the way, on a side note, being stingy actually makes you amazing because then when you are spending time with someone, when you're spending time with your friends or family, you're so focused into that. You're just having fun. You're going out, you're on vacation. You're really vacation. Literally, when I went on a trip. I told my work, that I'm busy. I'm busy chilling. Like I'm literally. They said, "Oh, I can't pick up the call." So I said, "I'm busy. I'm busy having fun."
Right? Yeah, I mean, you, and I'm sure you scheduled that.
Yeah, I scheduled that, and they know it, and I pre-planned it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
So filter. So on a practical sense, on your Gmail. There is something called filters. Look this up.
I think there was a point where in my Gmail, I had over 1,000 emails.
Oh yeah.
And I think many of you who are watching this
Lord
might have this as well.
Some of you don't check your emails because it's piled up. When I look at some of you, I look at your inbox. I get constipated. Like it actually like frustrates me.
Yeah.
Like I can't look at unclean emails.
Yeah.
You know, like
And it's very easy, guys. Like,
Right,
you know,
very
instead
easy.
do a Google search. Okay, like filter
how to
everywhere.
make filters on Gmail.
Yeah.
Or you like Yahoo? I don't know what you like. How to make filters? Very simple. Basically, you know, for example, I get, you know, messages from this organization, that kind of organization, from my bank, from my different sales. I actually filtered them. So all the sales email from Macy's, from I don't know wherever else, you know, bank, they go into one folder because I don't need to see the sales every day or every second.
Right.
I could see that every one day. I'm subscribed to a lot of news digest. So in New York Times, New York Post, Washington Post, you know. And then all them sends.
So you have a way of, like, you know, looking
Yeah.
at that content. So it's not everything is in front of your face.
I don't need to see that, you know, news, breaking news. If you sit down and watch CNN, watch Fox News, every hour is a breaking news.
Right.
Everything is a breaking. Right?
Yeah.
So you sit there, oh, breaking news, oh, breaking news. You're gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
Put
So
it-
have a filter. Some
yeah.
way, like, you know, you can consume the content,
Right.
but it cannot be in front of your face all the time.
Right.
You know, because those take, as you said, okay, those takes up your time.
Filter.
yeah.
You cannot have to-do list popping and coming. You cannot have people giving you to-do list everywhere.
Right.
You have to have a filter.
Right. Yeah.
Gmail has a filter. Your life has to have a filter. You know, very quickly, you just should be able to separate out information.
Guys, real quick, thank you everyone like that joined us. Vic, okay, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us. Imtiaz, Shahriyar, you know, Fahim, Masoom, of Nahid joined us, and so as Naji said that Sirta Saif, can we post the tips in order that as we speak, like a blackboard, or type it on the screen?
Oh, that's pretty good.
So I'm working on something like that. Soon we're going to have, like, you know, show notes so you guys can refer back to it.
Yeah.
You know, for now the show is going to stay at the format it is, but like in the future we're going to be looking at that.
Right.
And Nazrul before said, thanks guys, this is really helpful. I'm glad this is helpful, man. Yeah. All right. All right. So, the next step, okay,
Yeah.
is to consolidate. You know, you have to combine things.
It's the last step, right?
Yeah, this is the last step.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
you have to combine things. You know, just because you're going to, like, you know, let's say your friend wants to hang out. You know, that doesn't mean that you cannot hang out with your friend.
Right.
Because, you know, you have time where you have, like, you know, fun and you hang out as well.
Right.
So you could, like, you know, combine those two things. You
Yeah.
can hang out with your friend at the same time, have fun at the same time.
Yeah.
You know. So
you have to learn to consolidate things.
Yeah.
Meaning, how can I do few things together, right? If I need to go somewhere, I know I'll be, you know, say I'll be doing some shopping, and some people do very well. You know, grab a friend, he doesn't mind or she doesn't mind going. You know, grab them and say, come, we want to talk and catch up anyways, and we're gonna get this shopping done too. So that's you know, people, you know, that's why people you see, like you know, like
you know, like earlier today,
Yeah.
you know, I wanted to spend some little time, like time with my little brother.
Right.
You know, and he always wants to play video games.
Right.
And I like worked the whole day, and you know, I needed a break.
Right.
You know, and so instead of, like, you know, taking my own break, just doing my own thing, I was like, okay, I want to spend time with my little brother, but at the same time, I need to take a break. So I decided to play some video games.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't find video games relaxing at all. I quit that in 9th grade.
All right, I mean, you know, it works for me.
No, okay,
but
of course,
you know,
yeah.
so but the thing is that, you know, I wanted
get
to do two
stressed,
things. Oh, really?
All the hand movement. All right.
But you know, I do two things at the same
Right,
time.
right.
Or another example would be, you know, going back to podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Is like, you know, when I'm working out at the gym, you know, alongside working out, I also listen to podcasts.
Right.
You know, literally, like, you know, if I'm running, for example, okay, I'm listening to a podcast. You know, I do two things at the same time.
Right.
You know?
So combine different areas of your life.
Yeah.
Right. So you wanted to work out in the gym, but you wanted to also spend time with your father. Take him to the gym. Right. You wanted to spend time with your kids, but
maybe gym's not gonna work. Okay, I'll tell you, laundry is something that works. You know, your entire family gotta do laundry.
Right.
You know, and you have to do laundry as well. You know, that's something that you can combine.
Oh,
you know?
folks, you know, that depends. You know, if you're a city person, I know you're talking from a city experience, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, unless you got laundry done by someone else.
So different people have different style of doing
Yeah.
things. But more point is try to combine things. So you have to do things. Look at your schedule. Try to combine it. Can I do running along with making the phone calls? You know, can I drive along with listening to this? Can I, you know?
So consolidate things.
Consolidate
See
things.
how you can, like, you know, mix things together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Add things together. Even friend circle, you know, sometimes I need to catch up with few people. I'll try to set up, even if it's random people, I'll set up a get together with all these people.
Low key.
Yeah. and you know, they get to meet new people.
Yeah.
And we get to all have fun, and it works.
Yeah.
Right. At work. You know, at work, you know, you just sit down with somebody, and instead of going emailing back and forth, you're like, hey, Mike, on lunchtime, let me come to your office, and we just hash it out. And so you get to eat lunch and get that worked out. So you got to be able to consolidate things. You know, people, can I take care of this now? No, I'll take care of it Wednesday when I come, because I'm going to be there anyways. See, you consolidate. So that's consolidating, and of course, along with that, delegating.
And guys, this, you know, we gave like bunch of steps. You know, sometimes
it was a lot actually.
Yeah.
Actually, today we were going for a pretty long time.
Yeah.
We usually like to end it by 25 minutes, but I think we're at half an hour or more right now.
We are. Okay. So I just want to summarize everything, and so number one.
And thanks, guys. Whoever stuck around this long, you know, we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And hope you're benefiting. And definitely, whatever, you know, I know Najed asked us to post the notes. How about we request from you? If you have learned something and whatever you got out of it, we'd love for you to post it on our page, the Life Buildup Show, on that page, or on my page, Hasan Psychology, and post what did you learn, and you know, other your friends and so forth will also benefit.
Yeah, absolutely.
The tips you learned, share it on
especially
on
you know, if you can share it, share this video,
and of course tag us.
Newsfeed.
Okay. So this part of this consolidation is delegation, right? So you have to delegate. So look, in life, you don't have to do everything yourself. You know, one of the parents I was working with.
What does delegation mean?
Delegation means giving it to someone who could do it better,
or do at the same level as you.
Right. So you know, being able to do what you do best.
Basically,
do what you do best. Let other people do the rest.
Right.
You like that one, huh?
No, yeah, I like it. Absolutely.
Like that, man.
At the same time, okay, like, you know, so I think at the end of the day, because the result is the same, you're trying to get the same result, but it can be done by someone else. It doesn't have to be you that necessarily has to do it. At the end of the day, if the job gets done. Yeah,
it's amazing. Like, you know, I always think about this. You know, there's a family friend. You know, his uncle. He's a physician. You know, his hourly rate is about maybe, you know, few $100s per hour, right? You know, few $100s per hour. That's what he makes. If he's going to Costco every weekend, spending 3 hours shopping, is that the best use of his time?
No, it's not. He's losing money.
Right, and a friend of ours, right? We're having this argument. I don't know if we're at his house, and he was painting his basement. So I asked him, how much do you make per hour? Do you remember the conversation? How much maybe he's watching the show, I'm not sure. But how much do you make per hour? I asked him, right? So 60, 70 per hour. I said, you know, you could get someone to paint your house. You're spending whole day.
$10 an hour.
You get it for a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Like, that's called delegation. You're actually, you don't realize your time actually worth money.
Yeah.
They say, no, I'm not working at that time. But still, those are valuable hours. So your chilling is that much more valuable, right? So learn to delegate. Always find, can I get someone else to do it? And you'll be surprised.
And the thing that I wanted to say is that, but at the same time, like, you know, you have to make sure that the person you're delegating to, they're actually able to do the task.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know?
That's a whole different topic.
If they can do it. Yeah. So I just say one sentence on it. They have to do it better than you, or they have to do it, I would say 80%. Okay, of the job should be able, like, they should be able to get it done well, by themselves.
Of course, yeah.
You know, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so just to summarize our show tonight. So number one, you have to do a time accountability. Look at where your time is actually going. You know, on a weekly basis, look at how you're actually spending time. You know, you keep on saying that, you know, I'm busy. Are you actually busy? Like, you know, ask yourself, like, you know, where my time is going, and look at that.
Minute by minute, second by second.
Yeah, minute by minute, second by second. Number two is your mindset. The things that you guys are doing, they have to fall within the vision and the missions that you guys have for your life.
Monthly goals, weekly goals,
they have to fall under those things. And number three, what's number three? Remind me again.
Number three is filters.
Yeah. Filters. So have different filters on, like, you know, how you take in different information that comes to you. Don't just react to everything. You know, have like, you know, the different things that we talked about, like, you know, Gmail filters, turn off your notifications for Facebook, and, like, you know, other apps, like, you know, that keeps on distracting you. You know, things that are not important to you, you know, you don't have to look at that, like, you know, right away.
Yeah.
You know, they can be put on for later on. And finally, the last step is delegation. You know, consolidation and delegation.
Yeah.
Basically, take everything that you do and combine them. You don't have to do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
You know, see if there's any opportunity to combine them. You know, and some of the examples that we talked about is, you know, you can work out and listen to podcasts at the same time. You know, you're getting some knowledge inside your head at the same time you get your workout in.
Yeah. And the best leaders, they're actually very good at this, right? Actually, they set up 5 meetings in the same time and so forth.
Right.
And when they go to a city, they figure out 5 things to do at the same time. You have to be able to consolidate things.
Yeah, absolutely.
On a daily basis too. You know, you want to take care of a task. Don't just get up, take a car and go do and come back. Go do it again, come back. A lot of people do this, and that wastes time.
Yeah.
Put things together. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And delegate. Yeah.
All right, guys. We're gonna end up the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Wow,
I know we went
very
a
long
little bit
today.
longer than we usually do.
Right.
But you know, again, if you stuck with us like from the beginning, okay, really appreciate it. Join us next week at 10 p.m. Monday nights, where we have another exciting topic for you. Any last words?
That's about it.
All right.
Thank you guys for joining us, and again, share the video and let us know down below on the comment what you would like for us to cover.
Yeah.
And every week, you know, it's something that you're dealing with, something that you're excited about. We want to discuss it. We want to explore it together, and you know, hope to see you next Monday, 10 p.m. Good night.
All right, sounds good. Have a good night, guys.